In a small Charles County town, there's a close-knit family who claims they've seen a miracle.
Now they are getting media attention from around the globe, but Fox 45 is the first to bring you their story from inside their own home turf. Kathleen Cairns has tonight's cover story, Maryland's Ironman.
We lived across the street from each other. We grew up across the street, so it's like the girl next door, boy next door.
Joanne and Garth, a classic love story.
We were 13 when we first started hanging out, you know, just hanging out.
And it led to the altar.
Yeah, we wanted kids. We wanted three. But Brian was born.
They welcomed their first into the world and their last, because after Brian was born, Garth got cancer.
So that shattered the dreams for the big family, huh?
While Garth worked on his recovery, the Boyles concentrated on raising Brian.
Just a ball of energy.
Brian grew up an athlete, and in the summer of 2004, he graduated near the top of his class.
2 weeks later was the car accident.
2 weeks later.
On Poorhouse Road in the town of Welcome, a dump truck slammed into Brian's car. The teen hit so hard, his heart was shoved to the opposite side of his chest.
Brian was in critical condition, and I needed to get there as soon as possible.
Broken ribs, damaged organs, and Brian had lost more than half the blood in his body.
He looked like he was dead laying there.
Brian's heart did stop.
Every one of the nurses kept saying it's in God's hands. That's all they would tell us.
8 times doctors say he died. 8 times doctors revived him.
Tried to give us hope, but it was a waiting game.
After 2 months in a coma and 14 surgeries, Brian woke up.
It was terrifying, to say the least, because I didn't know how I got there or what happened to me. And I knew the situation was bad because both my parents are begging me to, keep fighting, and I didn't understand what they were talking about.
The body was so beat up and broken.
At least alive, a trauma survivor.
When I was able to take my first few baby steps with a walker, with a cane, the progress was just so rapid, and I didn't want to stop.
Grueling physical therapy.
This is my dungeon. You thought about one day at a time, learning how to walk again, learning how to eat on my own. I was happy that I was alive.
Brian's therapy has transformed into training, going from strong to stronger to strongest.
Officially, as of October, I'm an Ironman triathlete.
Just 3 years after his near-death experience, Brian swam, biked, and ran in the world's toughest race, the Ironman triathlon in Hawaii.
In October, when I crossed the finish line, I wasn't Brian Boyle, the sick boy, the skeleton in the wheelchair, the guy in the coma. I was Brian Boyle, the Ironman.
It was a miracle. And to look at him now, it had to be a miracle.
When I did cross the finish line, my parents, they were reborn.
Brian is also creating his own new image and setting his sights on becoming a career Ironman.
I don't know how I do it. It's another miraculous thing.
Brian's been featured in dozens of bodybuilding magazines.
This came out in the United Kingdom.
In Inspiration Now, around the world. But it's Brian who is grateful.
I was told that I had 36 blood transfusions, and I had 13 plasma treatments. So there's it's not just me. I'm a whole team right here.
But his biggest fans are his parents.
He's taken us on this journey that's unbelievable.
Brian works out now 6 to 8 hours a day.
He's got to push through the pain.
He's motivated by his own drive and by his father's cancer story. A father and son able to beat the odds against different enemies.
It started as a nightmare, and now it's like a good dream.
Brian says he now has a purpose-driven life.
Help inspire others as much as I can, because I believe that's the reason why I'm still here, the reason why I was saved over and over and time again.
In Charles County, Kathleen Cairns, Fox 45, News at 10.
An amazing story. Brian Boyle is competing in a half marathon this Sunday in Newfoundland, Canada. He plans to compete again in the Ironman World Championship in Hawaii in October. And he is hoping that his story will encourage others to donate blood.
And the Red Cross always needs more blood, and you can find the nearest donation site on our website. Just go to foxbaltimore.com and click on News Links.